Sha'Carri Jackson of Jamaica won the Jamaican trials in Kingston with 10.65. Good. Oh, wow.
Look out.
She means business. That she's going to be the person to beat at Worlds.
Yes, you heard that right. ShaCarri Richardson is slowly inching closer to the Worlds. It may not have been meant for her before, with all the controversies that surrounded her then, but now she's working hard to shine brighter than anyone in the World Championships next month. So far this season, ShaCarri had won and lost in several events, but now that the Worlds is fast approaching, she seems to be ready for it. In fact, if her recent performance in the first round of the women's 200 meters at the 2023 U.S. Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon is any indication, she's definitely ready. But first, let's take a look at how she fared so far this season and see if she really is ready to compete at the World Championships. In April, ShaCarri Richardson was outclassed by Abby Steiner at the Texas Relays 2023. At the event, track and field superstars ShaCarri Richardson and Abby Steiner battled to the finish in the women's 4x100 meters relay, with barely seconds separating them from first and second place. Abby Steiner, joined by Melissa Jefferson, Jenna Prandini, and Aaliyah Hobbs, finished in first place, clocking at 41.75, while ShaCarri Richardson, joined by Javianne Oliver, Twanisha Terry, and Tiana Daniels, finished in second place with 42.10. Even after the loss, so to speak, ShaCarri was still happy with how things turned out.
Hey, I ran an amazing fourth leg against one of my favorite people in the world, Aaliyah Hobbs, and we both did our thing. My relay did that thing from Javian to TT to Daniels. We all did our thing, and I'm blessed to say that we finished strong.
Of course, that is not to say that she's content with being in second place. No, of course not. No athlete aims to be in second place. ShaCarri proved that in her next race. On her season opener at the Miramar Invitational in South Florida, ShaCarri Richardson ran a blistering 100 meters, outshining everyone else. At the event, Richardson, competing in her first individual 100 meters race this year, clocked wind-assisted 10.57 seconds, 4.1 milliseconds, the fourth fastest time in history. And that is in all conditions of 10.57 plus 4.1 milliseconds tailwind.
She ran 10.83.
So all conditions, that will be number 4
all time.
Notably, Elaine Thompson-Herah ran a 10.54 in 2021, and Florence Griffiths-Joyner holds the record with a 10.49 that she ran in 1988.
So only 3 women, 3 times in history in the 100, under any conditions, are faster than what you just saw.
Richardson's time equates to a 10.77 with 0 wind assistance, which unfortunately is ineligible for any official world records, because the race occurred with a 4.1 meter per second tailwind. Anything greater than 2 meters per second is deemed to be aided by the wind. Still, it is admirable that she won her first race of the 2023 season with record time, and she even celebrated by tossing her arms in the air at the last few meters of the race. Richardson took an early lead in the short race, passing 2 of the top 3 finishers at last year's U.S. Championships, TT Terry and Melissa Jefferson. That's not an easy feat, given that Melissa Jefferson is a world champion and a national champion, while TT Terry is a world champion as well. So, in her first race of the season, ShaCarri did an incredible job. Now, before you say that it's just beginner luck or something like that, listen to this. ShaCarri streaked to 100 meters victory in the first Diamond League meeting of the season in Doha, setting a meet record with a time of 10.76 seconds.
Here comes Richardson. It's going to be tight. Richardson's going to get it. New meeting record. 10.77. The wind is legal. I said watch out for her.
Not only was she able to bag a win, but she also beat Jamaica's World 200 meters champion Sha'Carri Jackson with 10.85 seconds, while Briton Dina Asher-Smith was third at 10.98 seconds.
10.76, and Tori Bowie's meeting record has gone to her teammate ShaCarri Richardson.
That said, ShaCarri Richardson's 100 meters win was probably the highlight of the event. How so? Well, that win made ShaCarri the world's fastest woman so far this year after beating world silver medalist Sha'Carri Jackson of Jamaica. In addition, she's also the second fastest in the world this year in the 200 meters, when she comfortably took the 200 meters at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani, Nairobi, with a meet record time of 22.07 seconds.
ShaCarri Richardson powering around the bend. Can she convert that into the straight? She looks tall, she looks smooth, ShaCarri Richardson powers down this track here in Nairobi. She's got 40 meters to go. She celebrates, arms aloft.
There, ShaCarri Richardson produced a dominant display at the Kip Keino Classic, the third stop of the World Athletics Continental Gold Tour. ShaCarri Richardson surged ahead just before the final straight and increased her lead before slowing down and crossing the finish line with a margin of 0.70 and 0.75 seconds respectively, ahead of fellow Americans Kira Jefferson and Shannon Ray. Even with her celebration, ShaCarri covered the 200-meter distance in a meet record 22.07 seconds. What's noteworthy about this is the fact that the 200 meters is not Richardson's preferred distance, despite her dominance. Now, going back to the 100 meters, the event she actually specializes in, ShaCarri won the women's 100 meters title at the first Star Athletics Sprint Series Track and Field Athletics event of 2023, clocking 10.73 seconds in windy conditions. She easily won her heat in Monteverde, Florida, and continued her dominant form in the final 90 minutes later. Richardson's winning time of 10.73 seconds came with a wind speed reading of plus 2.6 milliseconds, which rules the performance ineligible for records. She finished 0.07 seconds ahead of USA's World Championship medalist Brittany Brown in second, and Twanisha T.T. Terry third in 10.82. And just recently, ShaCarri shone again at the 2023 U.S. Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon. A few days ago, ShaCarri Richardson punched her ticket to the World Championships with her wins at the event. Yes, you heard that right. Wins, as in plural. Notably, the global event next month in Budapest will be the first for her. In the women's 100 meters final, Richardson put on a show for Hayward Field, speeding to a 10.82 time to take the title ahead of Brittany Brown, who clocked at 10.90 seconds, while Tamari Davis was third with a time of 10.99. "I'm ready mentally, physically, and emotionally, and I'm here to stay," Richardson told U.S. broadcaster NBC after the race. It is also worth noting that ShaCarri clocked a 10.71, a personal best and at the time world lead in the prelims heats the day before the final. That's not even all. The very next day after she won first in the women's 100 meters final, ShaCarri ran at the 200 meters. Yes, she is definitely unstoppable now. During the opening round heats of the women's 200 meters, ShaCarri put up the fastest time across all four heats with a time of 21.61. However, on the 200 meters final the next day, it was Gabby Thomas who set the 200 meters world lead, clocking at 21.60, a personal best, meeting record, and the fastest time of 2023. ShaCarri's 21.94 personal best was good for second, while Kayla White's 22.01, another personal best, was third. Nevertheless, ShaCarri has already secured a ticket to next month's World Championships in Budapest, which will be her first global contest thanks to her recent 100 meters win in Eugene.
But now I stand here with you again, and I'm ready, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I'm here to stay. I'm not back, I'm better.
Do you know who else is also here to stay? Watch this to find out.